Hello, folks, and thanks for joining us here at Colburn Park. A little bit of a late start after some inclement weather was in the area, but we're ready to play some baseball as the Geneva Red Wings are in town, and it's the fifth meeting between these two teams this year as the teams have split the first two. It was a 17-4 drubbing by the Geneva Red Wings when we were at McDonough Park just about a week and a half ago. It was a 17-4 win for the Red Wings, and the Pilots will like to change their fortune here tonight as they're coming in on a three-game slide. It was a 3-2 loss to the Pioneers from Elmira last night right here at Colburn Park. And we're just about set to play baseball as it's Ronald Loomis, the right-hander, on the mound tonight for the Pilots. It'll be Trace Holder for Geneva. It's Brian Knapp who leads the game off for the Red Wings as Loomis tosses in a strike to get us going. It was a difficult night for the Pilots to really get everything going as Matt Walczak kept them in the game for a while. As Loomis is able to get ahead in the count here to Knapp, 0-2 to start things off here tonight. Another hot one here at Colburn Park. As Knapp, a big swing and a miss on the 0-2, and the leadoff man is retired as Loomis gets his first strikeout of the evening. Brian Knapp looked a little uncomfortable taking a swing at that one. Not much force behind that. And it's 3 pitches as the leadoff man is retired. It'll be Murray who comes to the plate now, and Loomis is able to get in the head in the count once again. As Ronald Loomis makes his 4th start of the year here for the Pilots. Has a 4.23 ERA. His last start came in a 5-4 victory against Elmira in the back end of that doubleheader. He gave up 2 earned runs on 7 hits. And 7 innings, As a breaking ball catches the outside corner, and he quickly has Murray in an 0-2 hole as well. That's a good start here for the right-hander from Livonia, New York, who plays at Oswego State. We saw Brian Knapp leading things off. It's Murray here in the second spot as he chops this one foul, and that's off of his arm. And so Alex Hernandez, who is the catcher here for the Pilots tonight, it's Murray and then Gillis and Nebraska, who will back cleanup, and then Livingston, Harris, Barr, and Powell, and then Jesse Hall, who will be at the bottom of the order tonight for the Red Wings. After the foul ball, still an 0-2 count to Murray. This one in the dirt. Can Murray hold up? No, he cannot. And it's back-to-back strikeouts to start the evening for Ronald Loomis, as Murray can't hold off a one low. And so there's quickly 2 gone here in the top of the first as Jared Gillis will stride in for the Red Wings. Loomis, for the 3rd consecutive batter, is able to get ahead of the count as he tosses in a strike on the inside part of the plate. Gillis hits this one high in the air. The second baseman, Graham, is able to field this one and retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Loomis here in the top half of the first as he keeps them clean. We head to the bottom here at Colburn Park. quick 1-2-3 inning for Ronald Loomis in the top half of the first, as the home side coming to the plate as the Pilots will take their first at-bats. And it's the right-hander Trace Holder who will be on the mound tonight for Geneva, as Geneva coming off a 10-5 loss to Elmira back on Saturday night, as they had the day off yesterday. They were able to get inside during the hot temperatures. Trace Holder from Monroeville, Alabama, finished up his freshman year at Coastal Alabama North, where he made 16 appearances, 39 innings pitched, and a 3.46 ERA with 31 strikeouts. It'll be Parker Tadlock, the Georgetown, Texas native, who will lead things off tonight.
Georgetown, Texas, number 2, right fielder, Parker Tadlock.
For Trace Holder, it's his 7th appearance overall with the Red Wings this year, but only his 2nd start. The last time we saw Holder was against the Pilots, and that 17-4 win, as he only pitched 1 inning. In all 5 of his relief appearances, he has only pitched an inning and hasn't given up an earned run. Tadlock takes a swing at the first pitch he sees. Barr, a tough throw over to third, and it won't be made. And Tadlock is aboard after the error. Will be charged to Barr over at third. The dribbler to the third baseman, Justin Barr from Pensacola, Florida, could not handle it as it was bobbled. And he had to make a hard throw over to first, and it wasn't in time.
New York, number 11, center fielder, Dawson Bailey.
After the defensive effort last night, where the Pilots struggled to get base runners, they'll take him however they can get him, as Parker Tadlock is aboard with the Justin Barr error to start things off here in the bottom half of the first. And it's Dawson Bailey batting in the 2 spot tonight at the plate for the Pilots. He shows bunt and sends this one down the first baseline, but on the right side of the line, so foul, and strike 1 to Bailey. Bailey batting .311 on the year, as he was 1 for 3 and came to cross to score once for the Pilots in the 3-2 loss to the Pioneers yesterday. Holder takes a peek over to Tadlock at first, as we saw a similar scene last night where the Pilots were able to get their leadoff man aboard on an error from Elmira. Off-speeder falls in on the outside corner as Connor McKenzie is behind home plate tonight. And Derek Iinski is out in the field. Iinski was behind the plate last night. McKenzie was out in the field as the roles are reversed here. 0-2 to Bailey. Fights this one off and sends it foul. And Harris, the right fielder tonight for the Red Wings, can't get over there to make the play. It's Tadlock leading off tonight, and Bailey in the 2nd spot. DeSantolo is batting 3rd, and then in the cleanup spot is Hernandez, followed by Phillips, Serfolio, Graham, and Torres. And it's Nick Kent who rounds out the order tonight for Newark. Another 0-2 here from Holder. Swung on again and sent high in the air to right. Harris is underneath it, and he's able to make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting out of Tampa Bay, Florida, number 31, first baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
So Tadlock is kept over at first, and with 1 gone, it brings Jared DeSantolo to the plate. Jared DeSantolo, who plays at FAU from Tampa, Florida, is down at first base for the Pilots tonight. DeSantolo batting .263 as he makes his 12th appearance of the year for the Pilots. Swings on this one and sends it foul, and so the count goes even at 1-1. DeSantolo riding a 3-game hitting streak. Did not play last night in the game against Elmira. Has 2 RBIs on 10 hits so far this year, and he has a 1-1 count to Holder. Swing and a miss. Gets Holder ahead in the count, 1-2. Trace Holder, he's been a part of all wins in the appearances he's made so far this year. As the 6 appearances so far have all been wins. And that last one coming in the 17-4 win against Newark. His only start of the year, he gave up 0 earned runs on 2 hits and a 6-1 win over the Utica Blue Sox. The 1-2 here to DeSantolo. Swung on down to the first baseman, Lebrasco, but it gets through his glove. Tadlock is going to charge for 3. He's going to have to get in quick, but the throw is arid. And so with runners at the corners and still 1 gone, Pilots are threatening here in the bottom of the first.
The catcher, Alex Hernandez.
Nick Lebrasco, the first baseman for the Red Wings, lunged at that one and couldn't come up with the ball as it snuck underneath him. And so DeSantolo is aboard, and runners at the corners as Alex Hernandez comes to the plate. The catcher from Pembroke Pines, Florida, looks at strike 1 that falls in from Trace Holder. Hernandez second on the team behind Murphy in RBIs with 9. As he sends this one into right, Jesse Hall, the second baseman, is tracking it back. Now Harris will come in from right field. And there won't be a tag up here from Tadlock, and so the runners stay put.
Now batting out of Brownsburg, Ohio, number 19, left fielder, Rick Phillips.
Ricky Phillips will get his chance to try and bring a run in here as we're still scoreless at Colburn Park as there's 2 gone here in the bottom half of the first. Phillips hitting 167 on the year as he has 5 hits and 30 at-bats, making his 12th appearance with Newark. The left fielder here tonight for the Pilots, trying to pick up his 4th RBI of the campaign with Tadlock over at third. Phillips holds off on the breaking ball as it doesn't catch the outer half of the plate, and so it's ball 1. Phillips looks at ball 2 outside, so it's a 2-0 count to the left fielder as his last appearance came in the 13-4 loss to Jamestown as he was 0 for 1 in that contest. 3 straight balls from Trace Holder has Phillips ahead in the count, 3-0, as there's still runners at the corners here for the Pilots trying to strike here in the bottom half of the first. The 3-0 inside, and so Holder will walk the bases loaded. And the catcher for the Red Wings tonight, Lane Powell, will take a trip off to the mound to talk things over with Trace Holder here. As Matt Serfolio will come to the plate. And with 2 gone and the bases loaded, we saw this time and time again back in that Mohawk Valley game where the Pilots were able to come up on top 6-1, but with 13 runners stranded in that contest, it was easy to say that the Pilots could have came up with quite more runs in that one. But another chance here, as it's the Indian Springs, Alabama native Matt Serfolio who comes to the plate. This one in at the knees, can't fall for a strike, and so it's a 1-0 count as Holder trying to find the strike zone here after 4 straight balls to Ricky Phillips. Walked the bases loaded. Holder ready with the 1-0. Serfolio taking all the way. Sees this one fall in for a strike, and so the count goes even at 1-1. Cerfolio, who plays at Columbia, is hitting .286 on the year. This one misses low from Holder. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Cerfolio hitless in his last 2 games, as he was 0 for 4 against Elmira yesterday with a strikeout. The 2-1 swung on down to Nebraska at first. He'll field this one and touch the bag, and so they get out of the inning unscathed, and we remain scoreless as we head to the top of the second between the Red Wings and the Pilots. We head to the top of the second here at Colburn Park as I'm Dan Cooter welcoming you back in here on Newark Pilots TV. It's the first baseman, Nick Nebraska, who will lead things off for Geneva, as Trace Holder able to get out of the inning after the Pilots strand the bases loaded. It was a quick 1-2-3 inning for Ronald Loomis in the top of the first, as Nebraska fouls this one off high and out of play. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to the first baseman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. Just finished up his freshman year at Youngstown State, where he hit .277 and had 18 RBIs in 32 games played. Nebraska swings on this one and fouls it off into the backstop, and so Loomis gets ahead in the count 1-2. Nebraska making his 22nd appearance of the year. That leads the team along with Langston Livingston, who is also in the lineup tonight. And he also leads the team as Ryan Simmons has a .500 average, but has only played 1 game. But Nick Nebraska, in 22 now, is hitting .370 with 27 hits and 73 at-bats for the Red Wings, and also leads the team in RBIs. He has a 2-2 count here to Ronald Loomis. He swings at this one, but gets around on it, and it goes foul down the left side. And so we'll do it all over as the count remains 2-2. Nebraska, 4 doubles for him on the year to go along with 2 home runs, as he's definitely had a successful campaign in the first half of the year with the Red Wings. Another 2-2 here as Loomis into the windup. Swung on and fouled right down that third baseline again as Giovanni Torres is over there at third. Nick Kent is at shortstop tonight, and Justin Graham at second base. Jared DeSantolo at first. In the outfield, it's Phillips, Bailey, and Tadlock, and Alex Hernandez handles the catching duties tonight for the Pilots. Nebraska will call time here as he steps back into the batter's box as he's ready for another 2-2 offering here from Ronald Loomis, the right-hander from Livonia, New York. Nebraska holds off on the breaking ball, and it misses outside. Hernandez asking for a ruling for Mayinsky as Nebraska doesn't go around on it. And so the count runs full. He's the leadoff man in the top of the second. Here's the payoff. Misses low. The slap of the glove from Loomis. Is he disappointed with that pitch? and it's a leadoff walk. A good at bat for Nick Lebraska. The DH, Langston Livingston, who we mentioned, making his 22nd appearance of the year, has 13 hits and 69 at-bats, batting .188, and has 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. He had a 3-run home run in that 17-4 win against the Pilots at McDonough Park. As the bats were flying for the Red Wings in that one, this one sent to left. Underneath it is Phillips, and he's able to make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting out of Watsonville, California, number 20, right fielder Jack Harris.
Well, California native Jack Harris, the right fielder tonight for the Red Wings, will come to the plate. After the leadoff walk, Nick Lebraska is kept at first. There's one gone. Breaking ball misses inside as Harris tucks in the shoulder to get out of the way of that one. And so it's ball 1 to the right fielder. This one in the dirt. Hernandez does a good job to get a shin pad in front of it and then scoop it with the glove. But it's 2 balls and no strike to Harris now. Harris sends this one to center, and it'll drop for a base hit. Bailey's able to get a glove in front of it, and so it keeps Lebraska at second. But Harris is aboard, and runners are at first and second now for the Red Wings. As Justin Barr, the third baseman, comes to the plate. He had that error in the bottom half of the first. The Pensacola, Florida native plays at Central Alabama Community College. Hit .292 in his freshman year and 49 games played, at 26 RBIs and came on to score 36 times. Barr takes a crack at the first pitch he sees. Bailey's tracking it, and he's able to make the catch. Lebraska has to come back to second as he elected not to tag up. And so with 2 gone, the runners kept at first and second as Barr flies out the center.
Alabama, number 12, the catcher, Wade Powell.
Batting in the 8th spot tonight, Lane Powell from Excel, Alabama. He plays at Coastal Alabama Community College. As Loomis misses with ball 1 in the dirt to the catcher tonight. Powell hitting .196 as he makes his 17th appearance of the year, and he gets hit hard here on the left side. And so the bases are loaded after the hit pitch from Ronald Loomis. In the bottom of the order here for the Red Wings, it's just Jesse Hall, the second baseman. Hernandez will make a trip out to the mound, the first of the night we've seen from the catcher, to talk things over with Ronald Loomis as he tries to get himself out of the jam here in the top of the second. Still scoreless between the Red Wings and Pilots. 1 hit apiece and 1 error for the Red Wings. With 2 gone, the bases loaded here for Geneva as they're trying to get the first runs of this game. The 1-0 to Jesse Hall. Catches the lower half of the plate for strike 1. For Ronald Loomis, he's pitched 17 innings and has given him 19 hits on 8 earned runs. Hall drives one into center, but Bailey is there to make the catch. And so similar to what the Pilots did, the Red Wings strand the bases loaded here in the top of the second, and we remain scoreless. The Red Wings return the favor in the top half of the second as they leave the bases loaded just like the Pilots did in the bottom half of the first. And so it's the second baseman, Justin Graham, who leads things off. And he fouls one off down the third baseline. And Barr makes a attempt at catching this one in foul territory, but can't come up with it. And so it's strike one of the Webster, New York native, who plays at St. John Fisher College. Still scoreless here at Colburn Park as Graham hits one into left, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And so the leadoff man is aboard here for the Pilots for the second straight inning.
Tampa Bay, Florida. Number 1, third baseman, Giovanni Torres.
Good at bat from Justin Graham as he gets a hold of this one and sends it into opposite field for a base hit. And it brings Giovanni Torres, the third baseman, up for the Pilots. Holder can't get the off-speeder to fall in, and so it's ball one. Oh, it was strike one. Or was it ball one? Yes, it was ball one. Scoreboard is playing with me. It's Trace Holder back on the mound, the right-hander from Monroeville, Alabama, on the mound for the Red Wings. Runner going is Graham. Here's the throw down to second. That's an awkward play, and he's out. As Justin Graham is thrown out trying to steal second. And so just like that, there's one gone. And the bases are cleared up now for the Red Wings. Good throw from the catcher, Lane Powell. Strike one here to Torres as the count evens up at 1-1. And after yesterday's display where base runners were few and far between, it's a hard pill to swallow when you get the leadoff man aboard, and then he's thrown out at second trying to steal. As Justin Graham had 5 stolen bases coming into the night. But he gets picked off at second. And so with one gone, a 2-1 count to Giovanni Torres. And he can't hold off on that one, and he strikes out for the second out.
Virginia. Number 8, shortstop, Nick Kent.
A delayed signal there from Connor McKenzie, the home plate umpire, but Torres not able to hold up on the breaking ball until Trace Holder gets his first strikeout of the night, and there's 2 gone. It's the bottom of the order with the shortstop, Nick Kent, at the plate. Nick Kent making his 5th appearance of the year, still looking for his first hit as a Pilot. As he hits this one into right, and just like that, he does have his first hit. As a blooper finds its way over the second baseman's head, Jesse Hall, and it's a 2-out single.
Number 2, right fielder, Parker Tadlock.
Top of the order for the Pilots now, as Parker Tadlock was able to reach on an error as he led off the game for Newark. Tadlock hitting .357 with 20 hits and 56 at-bats for the Pilots this year. He was walked in his only plate appearance last night for the Pilots against the Pioneers as he came on for Grady Wright in the bottom of the 9th as Pilots were trying to rally but could not do so. A ball in the dirt from Trace Holder evens the count up at 1. With 2 gone here in the bottom of the second, we're still scoreless from Colburn Park as both teams have left the bases loaded in back-to-back innings. Tadlock hits this one high into right. Harris is charging at it from right, and he's able to make the catch. And so the Red Wings get out of the inning, and we remain scoreless as we head to the 3rd here at Colburn Park. Geneva Red Wings hit at the top of the order as we're in the top of the third here at Colburn Park. Still scoreless between the Red Wings and the Pilots. 3 hits for Newark and 1 for Geneva to this point. And 1 error for the Red Wings as it came from the third baseman, Justin Barr, back in the bottom half of the first. Knapp is 0 for 1 as he struck out his first time up. Ronald Loomis with 2 strikeouts, a walk, and hit a batter in his first time through the Red Wings order. He starts Knapp off with 3 straight balls as Brian Knapp had a successful freshman campaign at Pomona Pitzer as he hit .339 and had 39 at-bats. Loomis is able to get a strike to fall on the lower half of the plate, so the count goes to 3-1. Knapp from Redwood City, California. He had 8 home runs in 41 games played with Pomona Pittsburgh. And was able to score 38 times. Loomis is able to work the count back to full, and so here's the payoff. It's swung down to the second baseman, Graham. He's able to field it easily and toss it over to first for the leadoff out.
Now batting, California. Number 29, shortstop, Tanner Murray.
Back-to-back California natives as Tanner Murray from Ben Lamond, California, comes to the plate. He also had a successful freshman year at UC Davis as he bat .333 and had 22 RBIs in 45 games started. Was able to score 27 times in his freshman year and also had 6 stolen bases and 1 home run. He goes around on a fastball from Loomis, and so he's behind in the count 0-1 as there's 1 gone here in the top of the third after the Brian Knapp ground out to Justin Graham at second. The 0-1 is an off-speeder, popped high in the air. Torres is underneath it as it's into foul territory. Underneath it and able to make the catch, and so with 2 gone, Loomis is able to get rid of the first 2 batters with ease.
Number 9, left fielder, Jared Gillis.
Jared Gillis, who is 0 for 1 tonight, comes back to the plate. Gillis from Smyrna, Delaware, plays at Delaware State as he is hit by Loomis. And so Loomis hits his second batter of the game, and Gillis gets the free pass down to first as there's still 2 gone. Just a breaking ball from Loomis that just never came around. And Gillis, with that pitch with not much velocity on it, he was able to easily lean into it and jog it down to first. And so it's Nick Lebraska, who was walked his first time up, who comes back up with 2 gone. Lebraska, as we mentioned, hit .277 in his freshman year with Youngstown State. He's had a successful year with Geneva to this point. Batting .370 with 14 RBIs. Loomis checks down to first with Jared Gillis. As it's a 1-0 count to the first baseman, Lebraska. Lebraska swings at this one, down to Torres at third. He'll go to second with it, and that'll do it for the top of the third. We remain scoreless here between Geneva and Newark at Colburn Park. We'll be back right after this.
New York. Number 11, center fielder, Dawson Bailey.
We head to the bottom of the third here at Colburn Park. Still scoreless between the Red Wings and the Pilots, and Newark trying to snap a 3-game slide. And it all started with a difficult home-and-home against the league-leading Jamestown Jammers as they fell 13-4 here in Newark, and then went to Jamestown where it got even worse as they lost 20-3. It was a tightly contested contest last night here at Colburn Park as the Pilots fell to Elmira 3-2. As Angus Mayock was strong on the mound for the Pioneers, the Pilots couldn't solve him. And Jake Dippold came on and was able to get the save and preserve the victory for the Pioneers. For the Red Wings, as we mentioned, they had the day off yesterday after a 10-5 loss to the Pioneers as well. And so they'll try to get back on track here tonight as well. It's Dawson Bailey at the plate. 0 for 1 as he flew out his first time up. And a 2-1 count turns into a 3-1 count as Trace Holder misses with one in the dirt. Hitters count here for Bailey as he holds off on one in the dirt again. And so the leadoff man has walked here for Trace Holder in the bottom of the third.
First baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
Jared DeSantolo, who had a single his first time up, is back at the plate for the Pilots. Trace Holder's second walk of the evening puts Dawson Bailey on first as he's the leadoff man in the bottom of the third. A 0-1 count after DeSantolo fouls one off from Chase Holder. Big swing and a miss here from DeSantolo as he's quickly behind 0-2. For Trace Holder, as we mentioned, he's had success in the games he's come in, as he's only started one, but hasn't allowed an earned run in the 6 appearances that he's made this year with the Red Wings. The 0-2 here to DeSantolo, swung on down to right, and it turns into a base hit. Harris, he bobbles the throw, but Bailey will stay put at second.
Now batting,
it's Jared DeSantolo. A good job to fight off the fastball up in the strike zone. He's able to pull it down the first baseline and has himself the second single of the game for himself. And there's runners on first and second for the Pilots and still none gone here in the bottom half of the third. Alex Hernandez, he flew out his first time up. We'll try to advance the runners. He's showing bunt. And then Powell, after Hernandez held off on the ball outside, was ready to sling one down to second as Dawson Bailey was inching off of that second base, trying to get a head start to third after the shown bunt from Hernandez. He won't show it this time, but Holder throws it in the same place for ball 2. Trace Holder, he's been flirting with danger here. He did it in the first as he left the bases loaded with 2 gone and was able to get out of the inning. But he's given up 4 hits to this point. It's a 2-0 count. Hernandez will lay off, and it's high. Now Lane Powell will have to come and have a chat. As Trace Holder is in danger of walking the bases loaded here in the bottom half of the third. With none gone, or still scoreless here between these Western Division rivals as the Red Wings are in town. We mentioned at the top, these two teams have split the first 4 games they have played. These two teams will meet again tomorrow at McDonough Park as a game that was postponed due to rain will be made up tomorrow night in Geneva. Holder's ready to go with the 3-0 now to Hernandez. He's able to find the strike zone on the inside part of the plate, and so it's a 3-1 count to to the catcher from Pembroke Pines, Florida, who plays at Nova Southeastern. The 3-1 now. Swung on and missed by Hernandez as he was trying to send that one yard. McKenzie goes for a foul tip, and so Hernandez got a slight piece of that one, but right into the glove of Wayne Powell. So 2-2 count for Alex Hernandez. Runners on first and second. The payoff. This is high. And Walter bases loaded. Third walk now of the night for Holder. And after that discussion with the catcher, Wayne Powell, it looked like Holder knew what he wanted to do as he got the count back to full. But a pitch that misses inside, walks the bases loaded. The Pilots will try to capitalize as Phillips, anything into the outfield, in the air or on the ground, will at least score Dawson Bailey from third. A 1-0 count to Phillips. He swings this one back to Holder at home. And it's going to turn into a double play ball. As the throw down to home is in time, and then the throw over to first. And a great play. Trace Holder quickly has 2 gone with runners on second and third, as that's not what Phillips wanted to do. It's Matt Serfolio who will try to save the inning here. You'd have to assume that's how the Pilots feel. With the bases loaded and none gone, probably the worst possible situation that could happen for the Pilots is it's a dribbler back to home, back to the mound, as Trace Holder makes the smart play to go home with it. And then the throw down to first from Powell gets Phillips in time. As Jared DeSantolo is down at third. Here's Serfolio. He hits one into center. And will it fall? Yes, it will. And so it's an RBI for Serfolio. Now Hernandez is charging home, and he will score as well.
Now batting out of Western New York, number 12.
Matt Serfolio picks himself up a pair of RBIs, and the Pilots jump out to a 2-0 lead. And that's good for Newark, as that's going to build some confidence. After the bases were loaded in a double play ball, it seemed like the Red Wings were going to have a chance to get out of the inning. But a good 2-out hit to right by Matt Serfolio brings in a pair of runs, and the Pilots up 2-0 now here in the bottom of the third. Serfolio is over on first. Justin Graham is back to the plate as he is 1 for 1 in the evening. After the check down, another pitch misses outside, and so it's 2 balls and no strikes to the second baseman from Western New York, Justin Graham. The 5th hit already of the evening for the Pilots as they're up 2-0. They're out hitting the Red Wings 5-1. This one hit by Graham into center, losing it in the sun, but able to get it is Murray. And so the Pilots strand one, but they get 2 here in the bottom half of the third and take a 2-0 lead over the Red Wings as we head to the top of the 4th. Matt Serfolio is able to drive in a pair of runs in the bottom half of the third to give the Pilots a 2-0 lead, as it's Langston Livingston leading things off for the Red Wings in the top frame of the fourth. Ronald Loomis, the right-hander, only one hit given up for him so far, as Livingston looks at ball one from him. For Livingston, the DH tonight from Philadelphia. Plays at St. Joseph's in Pennsylvania, hit .212 in his sophomore year, with 11 hits and 52 at-bats and 4 RBIs and 3 home runs. We mentioned Livingston had that 3-run knock to right field in a 17-4 win at McDonough Park for Geneva, as Loomis starts him off with 3 straight balls, and so he'll have to toss one in if he wants to avoid the leadoff walk here in the top of the fourth. Loomis is able to catch the outside corner, so it's a hitter's count now for Livingston at 3-1. Livingston hits one high in the air into foul territory. It's Torres underneath it, and he's able to make the catch. A similar play he made in the last inning. Retires the leadoff man.
Watsonville, California, number 20, right fielder, Jack Harris.
Jack Harris, who is 1 for 1 in the evening, comes back to the plate now. Harris able to hold off on ball one from Ronald Loomis. These Geneva hitters have gotten the peek at Loomis before, as Harris drills one right at the shortstop, Kent, but he's not able to make the play as it scoots into left field. And it's a 1-out base hit for Harris, as he's 2 for 2 now.
Now batting out of Pensacola, Florida, number 11, third baseman, Justin Barr.
Justin Barr, the third baseman, 0 for 1 in the evening. We'll try to advance Harris over there at first with 1 gone, as the Red Wings trail the Pilots 2-0. Barr takes a crack at the first pitch he sees and fouls it back. Swings at this one again and fouls it down the third baseline, and so he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. For Loomis, it was a strong outing for him, as he gave up 7 hits and 2 earned runs in that game where the Red Wings were able to come back and win 6-5 and walk off action, as Loomis pitched 6 innings. The 1-2 swung on and missed on the off speeder as Barr gets fooled for out number 2.
Now batting out of Excel, Alabama, number 12, the catcher, Lane Powell.
The third K of the evening for Ronald Loomis. Justin Barr got fooled by the off speeder, swinging at one in the dirt. So Harris is idle over at first. Lane Powell was hit by a pitch his first time up. Powell, his freshman year at Coastal Alabama Community College, hit .327 in 53 games played, had 39 RBIs and 5 home runs. A 2-out 2-0 count here for the catcher from Excel, Alabama. So he looks at ball 3 from Loomis, as Powell led his team at Coastal Alabama in his freshman year with 49 hits. 3-0 count as Powell holds off all the way, but it falls in for a strike, and so the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. With 2 gone here in the top of the fourth, Harris is still over at first for Geneva. 3-1 swung on and missed by Powell. That one in on the hands of Lane Powell as he went around. So Loomis works the count back to full. And now Loomis takes a peek over to first, but Harris back in plenty of time. Harris has both hits for the Red Wings this evening. There's the payoff from Loomis. Runners going as it's fouled off. The right fielder, Tadlock, can't make a play on it. And Harris will jog back to first. Loomis stands at 6'3", 185, the right-hander from Livonia, New York. Just finished up his freshman year at Oswego State, making his 4th start of the year for the Pilots. Another payoff. Swung on high in the air. Tadlock is chasing it down, and he's able to make the play for the final out of the inning. So after the top of the 4th, the Pilots still remain up 2-0 here at Colburn Park. Dan Cooter here on NewarkPilots.tv as we welcome you back into Colburn Park. It's Giovanni Torres, the third baseman, leading things off. In the bottom half of the 4th is Trace Holder. Surrenders his first 2 earned runs of the year pitching for Geneva. They'd only given up 2 hits coming into the game and has already given up 5. We mentioned that 6-1 win that he was able to record against Utica. He went 5 strong and only gave up no earned runs and 2 hits. A run did come across his score, but he was not responsible for it. And only had 18 balls in those 5 innings pitched. He's exceeded that already. As Holder is able to get this one to fall in for a strike. So it's a 2-1 count to Giovanni Torres. Torres grounds this one down to Murray at first. The short, excuse me. And the throw over to first is in time to record the first out of the inning.
Virginia, number 8, shortstop, Nick Kent.
Xander Murray, the shortstop tonight for the Red Wings, as we mentioned, had a strong freshman year at UC Davis. As it's the shortstop for the Pilots, Nick Kent had his first hit as a Pilot in his first at-bat of the night, as he is 1 for 1. Holder able to get ahead in the count here, as it's 0-1. Kent able to send this one into right, and he's got himself another base hit.
Now batting out of Georgetown, Texas.
Nick Kent starting to find the bat for the Newark Pilots, as he is 2 for 2 in the evening now, and it's a 1-out single for the shortstop who's committed to play his college baseball at Virginia University. So if that doesn't tell you that there's some talent there, I don't know what does. Virginia, the College World Series champions back in 2014. Tadlock throws down a bunt. Barr's going to have to barehand it. The play over to first, and he gets him. Great play by the third baseman, Justin Barr, on the barehanded throw. Nick Lebraska is able to scoop it out of the dirt. And with 2 gone, Tadlock advances the runner to second. And it brings Dawson Bailey back to the plate, as he was walked his last time up. A 2-0 game here is the Pilots' lead in the bottom half of the 4th. Bailey holds off on a breaking ball in the dirt, as the Pilots are out hitting the Red Wings 6-2. So it was Matt Cerfolio picking up a pair of RBIs in the bottom half of the 3rd that gave Newark their 2-0 lead. Bailey, the Porter, New York native, plays at Niagara University. Batting .311 on the year. He gets hit by this one. So Trace Holder allows Dawson Bailey to get aboard with 2 gone.
First baseman, Jared DeSantolo.
Hall, the second baseman, on the switch as he moves over into right. You can see where he's playing. I'm not sure if you can exactly see, but the second baseman, Hall, way off of the second base bag, as it's DeSantolo hitting on the left side of the plate. Back up, and he hits it right to Hall. And Hall will go over to first, and so it's perfectly played by the second baseman. And the Red Wings get out of the inning as we remain 2-0 lead for Newark, heading to the 5th inning. Ronald Loomis begins his 5th inning of work on the mound as the Pilots lead 2-0. Newark out hitting the Red Wings 6-2, as Loomis has only given up 2 hits and no earned runs. Jesse Hall takes a crack at the first pitch he sees, and it's hit right to the second baseman, Graham. So all it is 1 pitch, and now 1 out for Ronald Loomis. He makes quick work of Jesse Hall, and the Red Wings turn over the order for the 3rd time. Brian Knapp, the leadoff man for Geneva tonight, 0 for 2. He struck out his first time at the plate. Loomis starts off Knapp with a pair of balls. And this one low, but McKenzie, the call for strike 1. So it's a 2-1 count to Knapp, the Redwood, California native. Redwood City, California. Knapp hits this one deep to right. Tracking it back is Tadlock. They look up and it's gone. Brian Knapp with a shot to right, and he cuts the Pilots' lead in half. It's 2-1 now.
Lemon, California. Number 29, shortstop, Tanner Murray.
Brian Knapp, you can hear that one come off the bat. It sounded good, and it's his 3rd home run as a Red Wing. And it's a 2-1 ball game. As we mentioned, Brian Knapp, he had 8 home runs in his freshman year for Propona Pitzer. So he's not in unfamiliar territory when it comes to hitting the long ball. So he sits this one into right center field. Murray hits one into shallow right, and it's going to fall in between the outfielders. So Tanner Murray is aboard, as there's still 1 gone here in the top of the 5th. And the Red Wings only trailing by 1. It's a 2-1 ball game here at Colburn Park. Red Wings starting to get their bats going now, as it's their 4th hit of the evening. They have 1 error. Pilots with none to this point. And it's Jared Gillis, the left fielder tonight for the Red Wings, who fouls this one right at the backstop for strike 1. Gillis, who plays at Delaware State, hit .241 in his sophomore year, had 39 hits and 20 RBIs. Started 43 games for Delaware State and was able to come around and score 21 times. In those 39 hits, had 8 doubles. Gillis from Smyrna, Delaware, batting in the 3 spot tonight for Geneva. He hits this one in the left. Phillips is tracking it, and he's able to make the catch. So with 2 gone, Murray is kept put at first. Nick Nebraska, he was walked and then grounded out. He comes to the plate with 2 gone. Loomis checks up on Murray at first. Nothing doing. And so Nick Nebraska will stand back in and ready for the first pitch as he sees Loomis for the 3rd time tonight. But Loomis checks up again over at first. It's a 2-1 ball game here at Colburn Park between these Western Division rivals. 2 teams chasing down the Jamestown Jammers. We're running away with things in the West Division. Nebraska fouls one off hard down the third baseline. That's an 0-1 count to the first baseman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. Nebraska hits one hard foul again, but this one's down the right baseline now. So he's behind 0-2. Nebraska carrying a 6-game hitting streak into this one. He's still looking for his first hit of the evening to try and extend that streak to 7. Here's the 0-2 from Loomis. Runner's going. Here's the throw for Hernandez. The tag, is it in time? No, it's not. Close play at second, but Murray has a stolen base as Graham could not apply the tag in time. Murray only his 3rd appearance of the year for the Red Wings and his first stolen base with Geneva. Nebraska swings on another off-speeder and fouls it off, and so the count remains at 1-2.
He said it was rules of the ground out instead of sack. Well, no, we changed it. You did? No, he recorded it.
Murray over on second in scoring position with the stolen base. And the 1-2 count still to Nick Nebraska as he's fouled up a couple of pitches in that at-bat, and now he will call time to the home plate umpire, Connor McKenzie. Loomis into the windup with the 1-2. Whoa, it's way in the dirt. So that one not even close to making it to home plate. Nebraska able to easily hold off, and so the count goes even at 2-2 as there's 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. A Brian Knapp solo home run to right has cut the Pilots' lead in half as it's a 2-1 ball game here. A beautiful Monday night. This one hit deep to left. Phillips is tracking it back. At the warning track, he's able to make the catch, and so the Red Wings strand one, but it's Brian Knapp with the solo home run, his 3rd of the year. That has this a 2-1 Pilots lead now as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th here at Colburn Park as Hernandez leads things off and quickly will be out at first after a ground out down to 3rd. Starts things off here. It's a 2-1 Pilots lead. It was a Brian Knapp solo home run. that cut the Pilots' lead to 2-1. It's Ricky Phillips who comes to the plate now. Phillips grounded into that double play with the bases loaded for the Pilots. That's Serfolio. Bailed them out, though, with the RBI that brought in Dawson Bailey. Pardon me, Jared DeSantolo and Alex Hernandez, who were able to come around and score. The only 2 runs for Newark in this game. Pilots out hitting the Red Wings 6-4 as Trace Holder is back on the mound for his 5th inning of work. A 1-1 count here to the left fielder from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Plays at Notre Dame College. Phillips hits this one into the gap in right. Harris is after it, and he's able to make the catch. A good one for Harris.
Now batting for Indian Springs, Alabama.
And there's 2 gone as Holder looks for the 1-2-3 inning.
Serfolio!
Here in the bottom half of the 5th. Serfolio, as we just mentioned, 1 for 2, had 2 RBIs his last time up. So stand at the only 2 runs for the Pilots. And another closely contested one here at Colburn Park. As we saw the Elmira Pioneers come out on top 3-2. So it came all the way down in the bottom of the 9th. The Pilots had a chance to tie it up with runners in scoring position. But Jake Dipple, the lefty, plays at Wofford, was able to get the Pioneers the victory. It turned into 3 straight losses now for Newark. They're trying to snap that streak tonight. And in that Western Division, the Jamestown Jammers on a 3-game win streak sit at 18-4. Watertown Rapids in the Central Division are the 2nd best team in the league at 15-8, and they were able to defeat the Jammers. The game before, Jamestown was able to start the 3-game win streak with that 13-4 win right here at Colburn Park against the Pilots. A 2-1 count to Serfolio, as there's 2 gone now here in the bottom of the 5th. The Red Wings, they sit at 9-14, 9.5 games back. The Jammers are clear by that much. And the Pioneers are closely behind at 9-15. They're 10 games back. And the Pilots, with another loss tonight, would be quickly fading in that Western Division as they're 6-15, 11.5 back. Serfolio is able to hold off on this one outside, so he gets the free pass down to first with 2 gone. And it brings Justin Graham back to the plate. Graham is 1 for 2 as he had a single his first at-bat. A mound visit here for Trace Holder, as it's a 2-1 ball game and 2 gone in the bottom half of the 5th between the Red Wings and the Pilots. If you want to be in a tight division and have a chance to win, we'll play in that East Division. Amsterdam Mohawks are riding a 4-game win streak, are 13-9 and have a 1-game lead over the Saugerties Stallions, trailing closely behind the Dutchmen and Outlaws at 10-10, and then Glens Falls sits at 10-14. Dragons on a 6-game slide after they were leading the East Division what just seemed like a couple days ago. They're 2-8 in their last 10 now, and they've dropped down into last place in the East Division. So after the 2-out walk, it's Justin Graham at the plate as Trace Holder remains on the mound. Graham in that first at-bat was able to get this single, but was thrown out at second trying to steal on a good throw from the catcher, Lane Powell. Graham hits this one in the left, and it'll drop for a base hit. Serfolio is rounding to third. The throw in won't be in time. Graham will get into second, and it's a 2-out shot to left by Justin Graham. And there's runners on second and third for the Pilots. Graham, who was in a bit of a slump, able to get out of that, as he is 2 for 3 in the evening now. He sent that one into the gap and left. An opposite field hit for the second baseman. And there's runners in scoring position for Newark, and still 2 gone, as Giovanni Torres has a chance to pick up an RBI and extend the Pilots' lead. Holder misses with this one outside for ball 1, as Torres is hitting 130 on the year, making his 13th appearance with the Pilots. 3 hits and 23 at-bats for the third baseman and only 1 RBI. He hits this one to right. Harris is chasing it into foul territory and right into the Pilots' bullpen as it drops foul, and so the count will go to 1-1. Pilots would love to get a couple more runs on the board after the Brian Knapp solo home run, as this is a 2-1 ball game. 7 hits for the Pilots and 4 for the Red Wings. An error for Geneva and none for Newark as we play on here in the bottom half of the 5th. Holder trying to get himself out of the inning. Here's the 1-1. An off-speeder doesn't fall in, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the North Haven, Connecticut resident. He just finished up his sophomore year at Bates. He swings on this one, and it's going to be a base hit, and it knocks in a run. Graham is going to charge for home, and he'll be safe in plenty of time. And it's 2 RBIs for Torres. A clutch 2-out hit the left, and the Pilots extend their lead to 4-1.
Now batting out of Gordonsville, Virginia, number 8, shortstop, Nick Kent.
Torres picks a great time to snap out of a 2-game hitless streak. He hasn't had an RBI since the Mohawk Valley win. And it's his 2nd and 3rd RBIs of the year. And it's a 4-1 lead for the Pilots now. The 8th hit of the evening. Trace Holder has given up 4 earned runs after coming in with a 0 ERA tonight. Nick Kent, who is 2 for 2 in the evening, strides back in. It's 2 quick balls from Holder to start him out. Kent can't hold up on the fastball high, and so it's strike 1 to the shortstop. Justin Graham, the speedster, able to round third from second in plenty of time and come home to score. There wasn't even no throw. Torres is over on first still. Kent looks at strike 2, and it evens the count up at 2-2. There's the 2-2 now from Holder. A little inside and low, and so it runs the count full here with 2 gone in the bottom half of the 5th. 2 RBIs for Giovanni Torres as the Pilots up 4-1 now. Here's the payoff. Runner going, a swing and a miss. Holder gets the strikeout, but the Pilots get 2 more and extend their lead to 4-1 as we head to the top of the 6th. Dan Cooter here on Newark Pilots TV as we welcome you back in here in Newark as it's a 4-1 lead for the home side. Pilots able to add 2 more in the bottom half of the 5th as Giovanni Torres picked up a pair of RBIs. And it's Langston Livingston leading things off here in the 6th with Loomis set to begin his 6th inning of work. He's been strong on the mound, only giving up 4 hits and that 1 earned run coming off the bat of Brian Knapp on the solo home run in the last inning for the Red Wings. Livingston is 0 for 2 in the evening as it's a 2-1 count as Loomis misses with this one low and away. Loomis misses with another one, so it's a 3-1 count to Livingston. As we mentioned, these two teams hook up once again tomorrow night at McDonough Park. It'll be the 6th meeting of the year, as Livingston is awarded with a leadoff walk here to start things off in the top of the 6th. Not what Loomis wanted to do. No action in that Pilots bullpen yet. I take that back. It looks like Polishak is making his way over there. So the leadoff walk awarded to Livingston as he's over on first. This one hit to center, and it'll fall for a base hit. It's Harris, 3 for 3 on the evening now. He's looked confident at the plate. He liked the first pitch he saw from Loomis there, and he is aboard with none gone. He moves Livingston into scoring position. The 5th hit of the evening now for the Red Wings. Laying down the bunt now is Barr. Loomis will make the play from the mound over to first, and he retires the first out. But the third baseman, Justin Barr, does his job as he advances the runners on the sac bunt.
Number 12, the catcher, Lane Powell.
Lane Powell is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. And the catcher will try to cut into the Pilots' lead as it's 4-1 here in the top of the 6th. 1 gone after the sac bunt from Barr. This one high and at the head of Powell. So it's ball 1. The 1-0 from Loomis. An off-speeder that can't catch the outside part of the plate, and so it's ball 2 to Lane Powell. Powell hitting 196 on the year for the Red Wings, has 11 hits and 56 at-bats as he makes his 17th appearance of the year. This one misses low from Loomis, and he's in danger of walking the bases loaded with a 3-0 count. And only 1 gone here in the top of the 6th. There's the 3-0. It misses inside, and it's 4 straight balls. Powell gets the free pass, and the bases are loaded. As it's the bottom of the order with Jesse Hall. Big point of this game is we're going to mound visit here to Ronald Loomis. As there's action in that Pilots bullpen now. As they chatted over, Alex Hernandez is out there as they try to figure out how they're going to get out of this one. A double play ball would be crucial here for the Pilots as they lead 4-1 with 1 gone here in the top of the 6th. A walk to Lane Powell has put the bases loaded for the Red Wings as the Pilots are out hitting the Red Wings 8-5 to this point in the game. The second baseman, Jesse Hall from Tallahassee, Florida, plays at L.B. Wallace, batting in the 9th spot tonight for the Red Wings, and he looks at ball 1 from the right-hander from Livonia, New York, Ronald Loomis. Just finished up his freshman year at Oswego State. Gets this one to fall on the inside part of the plate, so it's a 1-1 count to Hall. Hall is 0 for 2 on the evening, hitting .230 on the year with 14 hits and 61 at-bats. So he makes his 18th appearance of the year. He hits this one down to the first baseman right between the legs of DeSantolo. And here comes Harris around from home, and a pair of runs score. Hall's into second. Now Powell's going to come home, and 3 runs come across. Here's the throw into third. The tag, is it in time? Yes, it is. But just like that, this game is tied at 4. As I couldn't exactly see what happened in right. As the focus was on Harris coming around from third. And then all of a sudden, the bases are emptied, and we're tied at 4. We'll sort that one out after it skipped through the legs of DeSantolo, and the Tadlock had trouble with it in right. Pardon me. We usually see Tadlock in center field. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But there was never a throw home. And the Red Wings have tied this one up at Colburn Park as we're all knotted at 4 here in the top of the 6th. With 2 gone, the Red Wings are at the top of the order now with Brian Knapp. So it's going to be 2 errors. There's 1 charge to DeSantolo, and there's 1 charge to Parker Tadlock in right as well. And we'll let you know exactly what Jesse Hall is awarded, but Knapp slaps one into center and has himself a 2-out base hit. So Loomis is not out of the inning yet. So he has another base runner to deal with. Jesse Hall, with the 2 errors, is not awarded a hit and doesn't pick up any RBIs. So that's unfortunate for him, but 3 runs, that could have been 3 RBIs quick. But nevertheless, the Red Wings have scored 3 here in the top of the 6th, and just like that, this game is tied at 4. We saw the Red Wings come back in the first meeting of the year when they were down 5-0 after a 4-run first from the Pilots. They came back to win in extras, and Hernandez to throw down to first. That one close. We've seen Hernandez with a couple of good plays. Ty Babin had one of those last night to get the pickoff down at first. Hernandez trying to do the same. It's a 1-0 count to Tanner Murray. He's 1 for 3 on the evening. Loomis misses with this one high. So it's ball 2 to the shortstop from Ben Lamond, California. Murray chops this one foul. So it catches the dirt right in front of home plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Murray. Still 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. Knapp over on first after the 2-out single. He had a solo home run his last time up as the runner's going, and Murray hits one high in the air. Calling it off as Phillips is in from left, and he's able to make the catch, but the Red Wings get damage done here in the top of the 6th as they score 3 and knot us all up at 4. Pilots will try to respond here in the bottom half of the sixth as they head to the top of the order the fourth time through, as it's a new pitcher on the mound for the Red Wings. So we'll get you that in just a second. But it was Jesse Hall who will be awarded a hit and 2 RBIs on the play after we figured that one out. And a third run would come to score, as it was a pair of errors recorded to the Pilots. And we're all tied at 4 now. Tadlock hits this one to left. Tough play here from Murray. Derek Jeter-like down to first, and the ball gets bobbled out of the hand of Nebraska. And Tadlock is aboard to start things off here in the bottom of the sixth.
New York, number 11, center fielder, Dawson Bailey.
Brett Super, the right-hander from Newport Beach, California, plays at Pomona Pitzer, takes over for Trace Holder on the mound. As it'll be a hit awarded to Parker Tadlock. No error to the shortstop, Murray. And Dawson Bailey, he was hit by pitches last time up. Will come back up. He looks at ball one from Super. Super able to get this one to fall with the fastball. So the count goes even at 1-1. Tadlock over on first. It's the 1-2-3 hitters here in the bottom of the sixth. A 1-1 count to Bailey. Runners going. The throw down from Powell on his knees. And it misses. And now Tadlock's going to take off for third. There won't be a throw. And Tadlock is in safely. There's an awkward play there at second as Hall came together, the second baseman, with Tadlock. And the ball squirted into center. And Knapp had to come in. But gotta give some props there to Lane Powell. It's a pretty hard throw from his knees. Throws off, shows some of his strength there with the throw down to second, but it gets away from Hall, and Tadlock gets into third now. Super misses with this one, and so the count is at 2-2 to the center fielder, Dawson Bailey. As Super makes his 7th appearance of the year on the mound for the Red Wings with a 1.92 ERA. Super misses again outside, and so the count runs full on Bailey. Super has come in relief in all of his appearances. His last one came in a 6-5 win over Watertown, in which he pitched 3 scoreless innings of work and gave up no hits. Here's the payoff now from Super. Fouled off by Bailey right into the hand of Powell, and that's a stinger. See, walks that one off. Some choice words for him. As McKenzie will give Powell a chance to walk this one off as he makes a mound visit out to Brett Super. Super, really only one blemish on his resume this year, as it was a 17-14 barn burner against Watertown that ended up being a loss for the Red Wings, in which he pitched 3 innings and gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits. But it seems as though every pitcher was giving up a couple of earned runs in that one. So that's really the only time he has struggled. It was the only game he's given up earned runs in. As his last 3 outings, he's been stellar for the Red Wings. This one misses in the dirt. Powell's going to have to chase it down. The throw home, it's not going to come. And a run scores for the Pilots as Tadlock is home. And now, after the walk, Bailey gets all the way over to second on the pass ball. McKenzie with a chat from Colbert, and that's going to bring Bailey back to first, as I think Powell had some trouble with it on the backstop. And so McKenzie signals Dawson Bailey to head back to first.
Now batting.
But Parker Tadlock comes home to score after the wild pitch from Brett Super. Got so fixated on Parker Tadlock coming home, totally forgot that Dawson Bailey had gotten aboard on the walk. And it was a heads-up base running from Dawson Bailey, but he does end up on first after all of it. It's Jared DeSantolo, the first base. Oh, this one smacks Super. And the throw down to first, it is in time. Super jumps right back up. You can hear that one from here. That was a hard-hitting ball by Jared DeSantolo, and it came right back at the pitcher, Brett Super. And they'll check on him. He seems to be all right, but it seems to catch his non-throwing hand right on the forearm. So check on him quick. Impressive they were able to get the out after it went off of Super's arm. Murray, the shortstop, seen him make a couple of good plays. The heads-up one there. He's able to barehand it over to first to record the first out of the inning. As it's started to heat up here. The fifth and sixth innings have been action-packed, and it's a 5-4 lead for the Pilots. They'll let Super throw a couple of pitches here. After he was hit with a hard line drive by Jared DeSantolo. He is ready to go. We'll fix a camera for you here real quick. Sorry about that. All right, with that taken care of, it's Alex Hernandez back at the plate. And with one gone, Bailey is over on second. As Super seems to be okay after taking the ball to the left arm. He tosses in 2 balls here to the catcher, Hernandez, as he is 0 for 2. Came around to score on the Serfolio RBI single after he was walked. Hernandez hits this one high into the air and right. Harris, the right fielder, is in to make the play. Bailey thought about tagging. The throw into third now. One hopper is handled by Barr, and Bailey stays put at second. Bailey still in scoring position as Ricky Phillips comes back to the plate. He is 0 for 2 on the evening. So he looks to try to change his fortune here with 2 gone. Parker Tadlock came around to score on a wild pitch from Brett Super. And so the Pilots regain their lead. As it's a 5-4 ball game here at Colburn Park. The sun's setting. It's a beautiful sunset tonight. Temperatures finally starting to drop a little bit. We had a scorcher yesterday here against Elmira. Similar conditions tonight. It's an 0-1 count after the foul ball. Phillips can't hold off on that one, and so he's quickly behind 0-2. As Super tries to limit the damage here after taking over for Trace Holder, who pitched 5 innings and gave up 4 earned runs. Super into the windup with the 0-2. Swung on by Phillips, a blooper right to Hall, and that'll do it. So the Pilots get one back and take a 5-4 lead as we head into the last 3 in the top of the 7th here at Colburn Park. We welcome you back to Colburn Park. Dan Cooter here on Newark Pilots TV. A tight one as we head to the top of the 7th. 5-4 Pilots up, and a beautiful backdrop for you here as the sun sets here in Newark. And it's a new pitcher for the Pilots as Ronald Loomis exits the game. As he gives up 4 earned runs on 6 hits after the 3-run top of the 6th from the Red Wings. A pair of errors for both teams. Pilots with 10 hits of their own. And Jacob Polishek, the right-hander, we saw him last night as well, is on the mound now for the Pilots. It's Jared Gillis who leads things off in the top of the 7th. Gillis is 0 for 2. Was able to reach after being hit by a pitch his second time at the plate. Gillis lays off on this one inside, but it catches the corner for strike 2. And so Polishek gets ahead in the count, 0-2 here to the left fielder, Jared Gillis from Smyrna, Delaware. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt. Able to lay off his Gillis. And so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Delaware State product. We mentioned batted .241 in his sophomore year with 20 RBIs and 39 hits. 1-2 here from Polishek. Swung on by Gillis. Hit hard down the right baseline, but goes foul. That could have been extra bases if it would have found the fair side of the line. But the count remains at 1-2 to Gillis as Polishek makes his 7th appearance on the mound. He went too strong. He only gave him up 1 hit and 0 earned runs in 2 innings of work in the loss to Elmira yesterday. It was one of his stronger appearances. The other one came right here against Geneva in a 12-2 win, the first of the year for the Pilots at the beginning of the season, where he went 2 innings and didn't give up a hit or a run. This one misses over the head of Gillis as he ducks out of the way. Gillis is the leadoff man here in the top of the 7th. Two teams, as we mentioned, meet once again tomorrow at McDonough Park. This the 5th meeting of the year. It's a full count here to Jared Gillis. The payoff from Polishek. Off the top of the bat and foul, and so the count will remain full. Both teams trying to end losing streaks. Red Wings only on a 1-game losing streak, but it was to Elmira. As a lot of games inside this West Division in the back half of the schedule as we head into July. Another payoff pitch swung on and missed by Gillis, and a big strikeout for Polishek to start things off in the top of the 7th.
Now batting out of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, number 31, first baseman, Nick Nebraska.
Polishek had 5 strikeouts coming into the night. He picks up his 6th, has given up 10 hits, 7 walks. 8 and 2/3 innings of work for the Pilots. Nick Nebraska have a hitting first baseman at the plate. High and tight. Nick Nebraska works his way up, out of the way that one. He is 0 for 2 and hit reach on a walk in his first appearance. The big man who's batting .370 coming into the night, trying to extend that 7-game hitting streak that he has. 1-0, that one way in the dirt. And swing and a miss as he gets all air. And he is quickly behind 0-2. Must have been looking for a fastball there and got the off-speed pitch. And he swung at that one in the dirt, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Oh, it's 1-1. Excuse me. Oh, but he doesn't go. Goes around on another one in the dirt. I know. So it's a 1-2 count. As Nebraska gets fooled by back-to-back breaking balls from Jacob Polishek, the right-hander from Frederick, Maryland, looks for the 2nd straight K here in the 1-2. 4 pitches Polishak has thrown. Now 1 has found the strike zone, but Nebraska has gone around on 2 of them. Nebraska has struck out 9 times this year. Langston Livingston leads the team with 15. Here's the 2-2. Swung on again in the dirt by Nebraska. Hernandez will have to throw down to first as he couldn't handle it. Well, Nebraska just couldn't seem to find the pitches he wanted in that at-bat, and he strikes out. And there's 2 gone now here in the top of the 7th.
Number 26, designated hitter, Langston Livingston.
Back-to-back Ks for Jacob Polishak as he sees these Red Wing batters for the first time after taking over for Ronald Loomis. It's Langston Livingston who looks at a strike from Polishak to start him off. Livingston is 0 for 2, was able to come around and score his last time up after being walked in that big 6th inning for the Red Wings where they scored 3 and tied the game at 4. There was a wild pitch by Brett Super in the bottom of the 6th that allowed Parker Tadlock to come around and score. That gave the Pilots a 5-4 lead. That's where we stand with 2 gone now here in the top of the 7th. It's a 1-1 count to the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native, Langston Livingston. Livingston gets a crack of the bat on this one, sends it foul off to the left. And no play from the Pilots' defensive players. And so it's a 1-2 count to Livingston. Polishak into the windup with the 1-2. Oh, that one looked to fall in, but he can't get the call as Polishak was off the mound. And he thought he had struck out the side there. Count even to 2-2 now. Polishak will deal again into the kick. This one swung on by Livingston, hit right to the shortstop, Kent. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Polishak as we head to the bottom of the 7th and stretch it out here at Colburn Park.
Now batting out of Indian Springs, Alabama. Number 3, designated hitter, Matt Zerfolio.
Pilots look for some insurance here in the bottom of the 7th as they lead the Red Wings by 1, 5-4. Pilots out hitting the Red Wings 9-7, 2 errors apiece in this one. It's Matt Zerfolio leading things off as it's the 6, 7, 8 hitters from Newark. And Brett Super's back on the mound as he took that shot off the left arm as a hard-driven ball by Jared DeSantolo came right back at him. But he seems good to go and begins his 2nd inning of work on the mound as it was Trace Holder he took over for. Super, along with his teammate Brian Knapp, plays at Pomona Pitzer. He finished up his freshman year. He made 16 appearances, only started 1 game, so he is comfortable in this relief setting. Zerfolio takes a swing and fouls this one off right into the glove of Powell, and so he's behind in the count 0-2. Super had 2 saves in his freshman year and pitched 34 2/3 innings, where he had a 5.71 ERA and struck out 23 batters. Zerfolio has 2 RBIs on the night. Will try to stay alive as he leads off the bottom of the 7th with an 0-2 count. He swings on this one and hits it high in the left. Gillis is charging in after it, and he's able to field it for the first out.
Now batting out of Western New York, number 12, second baseman, Justin Graham.
Justin Graham has been a successful night at the plate for him as he's 2 for 3 and came across to score his last time up. Batting in that 7th spot. We've seen him in the leadoff spot numerous times. Him and Parker Tadlock have kind of exchanged duties in the leadoff spot. 2 smaller guys with tons of speed. Great for that leadoff spot as he looks at strike 1 from Brett Super. Graham fouls this one off and is quickly behind 0-2 as Super tries to keep things under control here in the bottom of the 7th. Red Wings have 6 outs to work with as they are down by 1 to the Pilots here on a Monday night at Colburn Park. This one chopped down to the third baseman and it skips right over the head of Barr. Graham is going to round first and charge for second. The throw in by Gillis. It's not in time. There's a hard hit ball down the third baseline. Right over the head of Justin Barr. As a favorable bounce for the second baseman, Justin Graham. It'll be a hit for Graham. His 3rd of the evening. And it's remarkable how all it takes is 1 game, and when you're hot, you're hot. And Graham has gotten hot here tonight as he's 3 for 4. And is aboard with 1 gone as he's in scoring position with Giovanni Torres at the plate. He had that clutch hit his last time up that drove in 2 runs and extended that Pilots lead before the Red Wings came back and got 3 in the top of the 6th. 0-1 count here to the third baseman from North Haven, Connecticut. The throw down to second. Graham's able to get there. An aggressive tag there by Murray as Super trying to pick off play, but it's not in time as Graham was back. That's still an 0-1 count to Giovanni Torres. Super into the stretch with the 0-1. Swung on and off the top of the bat by Torres. And he is behind 0-2. Super has gotten his first 3 batters in this inning, down 0-2 in the count. He did get Zerfolio to fly out, but Graham was able to hit a hard one down to Barr at third where it popped over his head. It's not an error charge to Barr. He does have 1 in this game tonight, though. It's an 0-2 count to Torres. Pitch is outside, it looked like, as McKenzie calls ball 1. And a 1-2 count now. 10 hits for the Pilots in this one, 7 for the Red Wings, and 2 errors apiece as we play on here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-2 swung on by Torres into right. It'll find the gap. Graham is rounding. He will easily score. Torres will hold up, and he has his third RBI of the evening as the Pilots extend their lead to 6-4.
Now batting out of Gordonsville, Virginia. Number 8, shortstop, Nick Hatz.
And that's something that you have to notice here tonight. If you're keeping score of this game, you can see that this bottom of the order has been good here tonight. Serfolio in that 6th spot with 2 RBIs. Graham 3 for 4. He just came around to score for his 2nd time tonight. And Torres is 2 for 4 now with 3 RBIs in the 8th spot. And Nick Kent in the 9th spot is 2 for 3. So those 6 through 9 hitters have really been the spark tonight for the Pilots as they lead 6-4. It's the 11th hit now for Newark tonight, as the bats have finally come alive. A 1-0 count here to the shortstop, Nick Kent, as he looks at this one outside. It's a 2-0 count now. So there's still one gone. Pilots would love to tack on a couple more as Torres is on first. After the RBI single to right, brought in Justin Graham. 2-0 as Kent takes it all the way, and it misses high and outside. So it's a 3-0 count here for Brett Super as there's action in that Red Wings bullpen. The 3-0 right down the middle as Kent lays off. It's a 3-1 count now. It's the right-hander Steve Larson getting loose for the Red Wings. It's a 3-1 count now to Nick Kent. This one low and ball 4 all the way. So Kent gets the free pass and moves Torres into scoring position. We'll see how much longer Super lasts here. As we mentioned, Super really only had 1 blemish on that record so far this year. But it's been a little bit of a struggle for him tonight, as he's given up runs in back-to-back innings, as the Pilots lead 6-4 here at Colburn Park. It's a home-and-home here with Geneva, as it'll be another one at McDonough Park tomorrow night. The season series all tied up at 2. So it was a blowout at McDonough Park the last time these two teams met up, and a 17-4 rout for the Red Wings. But it's been a different story here tonight, as it's the top of the order now for the Pilots. And Parker Tadlock, who came around to score in the last inning, as he was able to get down on a stolen base, and the throw was high, got him down to third, and then a wild pitch allowed him to come home and score. So he looks at strike 1 from Brett Super. With the walk, it moves Torres into scoring position over at second, and Nick Kent is down at first. Super looking for a timely double play to get himself out of the inning here. Another breaking ball. This one misses. So the count is even at 1-1 to the Angelo State product, Parker Tadlock. 1 for 4 on the evening. Torres, 4 RBIs for him on the year now. He came in with only 1. But a strong evening at the plate for him, as gave the Pilots their 6-4 lead. And Parker Tadlock has a 1-2 count as Super looks for the second out of the inning. Super from the stretch with a delivery, and the breaking ball misses in the dirt. Count even at 2-2. Tadlock is ready to go, and misses away and low. And the count is full now to Tadlock, as Super having some difficulties finding the zone after he had Tadlock in a 1-2 hole. Tadlock, who was hitting .357 coming into tonight. Here's the payoff. Misses high, and Super walks the bases loaded.
Now batting out of Port New York, number 11, center fielder.
We'll see how much longer Larson needs to warm up, as Brett Super is struggling to find his command here. And with still one gone, Dawson Bailey comes back to the plate. Bailey has reached his last 3 times, as he was walked, hit by a pitch, and then walked again. He'll look for something he can hit as the bases are loaded. A lot of breaking balls here from Super as he's able to find the zone with this one. And so it's an 0-1 count to the center fielder, Dawson Bailey from Porter, New York.
People are like crayons. Nobody likes the white ones.
Bailey hits this one into right. Back into center. Tagging is Torres. There won't be a throw home. And another run comes home to score. And Bailey picks up an RBI as he does his job.
Florida, number 31, first baseman, Jared Tolo.
So Knapp underneath that one in center, but really no chance to get a throw as it advances Kent to second as he tagged up. Well, pardon me. They did not tag up, but Torres did. He was the only one to tag up as he came home and scored. And so the Pilots extend their lead to 7-4 as they've scored 2 now here in the bottom frame of the 7th. And Jared DeSantolo comes back to the plate. He hits this one opposite, but foul. Super hopes that DeSantolo can find something besides his arm this time up as he smacked him hard with a line drive. Oh, 1 count to the first baseman, DeSantolo. He's got runners on first and second. Kent is in scoring position. He looks at ball 1 low from Super. Super ready to offer the 1-1 now to Jared DeSantolo. Super into the stretch. The foul here by DeSantolo. And so Super gets ahead on the count 1-2. Some timely hits tonight by Giovanni Torres as he has 3 RBIs. And it's allowed the Pilots to get a 7-4 lead in this one. Matt Serfolio has a pair of RBIs as well. And Dawson Bailey just picked up an RBI on that sac fly that brought Torres home to score. DeSantolo ready with a 1-2. Low. Moves the count even at 2-2. Super just trying to get that final out. Hasn't been easy. He was stuck on 1 for a while after the fly out from Bailey. Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed by DeSantolo. So Super gets the strikeout, and the Pilots strand 2, but they add another pair of runs and have a 7-4 lead as we head to the top of the 8th. Ready to go here in the top of the 8th as Polishak is back on the mound, and he's able to toss in strike 1 to Harris, who is 3 for 3 on the night, as he's had a strong evening at the plate. He looks to extend that as his Red Wings are down 7-4. So he hits this one deep into the night sky and right, tracking it back at the wall is Bailey, and he makes the catch. I could not see that one as it was up against that Ford sign out in right center. But a good catch by Dawson Bailey as it's a hard out for Harris deep into right. But there's one gone as Polishak and Saya deep relief after that one. Wow, and on that note, did you guys see where DeMarcus Cousins is going? The Warriors? Really? He's going to the Warriors. I don't know, but he's going to the Warriors. Not Javale McGee anymore. A 1-2 count here. Moves to 2-2 as Polishak looks to get the second out of the inning as he tries to keep it clean here. This one in the dirt catches Hernandez in the helmet. Seems to be all right. Both these catchers catching a couple of stingers tonight. That comes with the job. As it's Justin Barr 0 for 3 at the plate, and a payoff pitch here from Polishak. Catches the outside corner as Barr gets caught looking at strike 3. And it's Polishak's 3rd K of the evening. And there's quickly 2 gone here in the top of the 8th.
Alabama. Number 12, the catcher, Lane Powell.
Barr, a tough night for him, as he is 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts to his name now. This is Lane Powell, the catcher at the plate. Was able to reach on a walk and came around to score his last time up. Off speeder here. Hit hard into opposite field and then a fall. Oh, it gets by Parker Tadlock as he falls down. It's against the wall. Powell is going to charge for 3. Here's the throw in. Kent can't handle it. Torres has to chase it down as Powell's in there with a triple. It probably won't be ruled this one, though. A double. It looks like it'll be. There's Parker Tadlock, another error for him out in right field. To third base, so it's a double for Powell, and he picks up an extra base on the air and has got his first hit of the evening. As this one's hit deep to center now. Chasing back is Bailey. He dives and can't make the catch. Powell comes home to score. Hall's at second, and he'll hold up and has an RBI double. And the Red Wings have cut into that Pilots lead once again. As all this coming with 2 outs.
Now batting out of Redwood City, California, number 14, center fielder, Brian.
Big hit for Jesse Hall to bring Powell home, and he gets himself into scoring position as Brian Knapp, who has a solo home run tonight, comes back to the plate as he is the tying run. It's a 7-5 game. Polishak misses with this one outside, and it looked like Polishak was going to have himself a clean 1-2-3 inning. But Powell smacks one into right, and then Hall brings him home on a hit to center that Dawson Bailey could not get. The Red Wings get one back here in the top of the 8th. Hall has 3 RBIs on the evening now, as he had 2 his last time up, so a strong evening for the second baseman. Knapp sends this one foul, but out of play. Some two-out magic here from the Red Wings. Gets them back within 2. Just a 2-1 count to the center fielder, Brian Knapp from Redwood City, California. 2-1, swung on, hit high in the air. Phillips and Torres coming together. Kent calls him off and is able to make the play for the final out. Red Wings strand one, but they get one back on the Jesse Hall. Doubled this center, and it's a 7-5 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
Alex Hernandez!
Dan Cooter, as we welcome you back into here to Colburn Park. It's a 7-5 ball game as Steve Larson will try to keep the Pilots at bay and give his Wings a chance when we head to the top of the 9th. As Brett Super's night is over. It's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Red Wings after Trace Holder pitched 5 innings. Steve Larson pitches at Iowa Wesleyan from Windsor, Colorado, far away from home for him, along with a couple of those California residents on the Geneva squad. Larson with a breaking ball. Misses outside. A little close to catching the corner, but McKenzie says no. And so it's 2 balls and no strikes to the catcher, Hernandez. Hernandez hits this one into left. Gillis is after it. He's able to field it and make the catch. And so the leadoff man is retired here in the bottom half of the 8th.
Out of Brownsburg, Ohio, number 19, left fielder, Rick Phillips.
Ricky Phillips, 0 for 3 on the night, comes back to the plate. The left fielder from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Will try to change his fortune here tonight. Steve Larson, the right-hander, stands at 5'9", 155 on the mound as he makes his 6th appearance of the year. They've all been in relief. And all 5 games he's appeared in have turned out in a Red Wings loss. Here's a skipper down to the second baseman, Hall. The throw over to first, and there's 2 retired now. Larson struggled in his last appearance as he pitched 1 inning and gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits. It's been a tough go for Larson as his relief appearances just haven't gone the Red Wings' way as they lost 3-1 to Socrates. His time came on the mound on June 19th. Before that, he gave up no earned runs on 2 hits, so he did his job in that one. But he was a part of that 17-14 loss to Watertown. So I'm sure the Red Wings were just looking for anyone to throw some strikes in that one. as Larson looks for the 1-2-3 inning here, as the Red Wings trail the Pilots 7-5, being out hit 11-9. 3 errors for Newark and 2 for Geneva. 0-1 count here to Matt Serfolio, who has a pair of RBIs tonight. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters for the Red Wings when they head to the top of the 9th. Some action in that Pilots bullpen. Can't exactly tell who it is. Could be the... I look... The right-hander, Jonathan Tyler, warming up. And he looks like he's going to come in for Polishek here and try to close this one out for the Pilots. Serfolio in front of a breaking ball, but he fouls it off the top of the bat. And so stays alive as the count is at 1-2. Larson, he's pitched 10 2/3 innings this year for the Red Wings, has 5 strikeouts, has walked 5 batters, and has given up 17 hits. Has a 5.06 ERA. He's ready with another 1-2 here to Serfolio. So he looks to retire the side. This one swung on, chopped down. Right to Murray at the shortstop. Fielded over to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Larson, so he does his job and gives the Red Wings a chance when we head to the top of the 9th. They trail 7-5 here at Colburn Park. Jonathan Tyler will try to close this one out for the Pilots as they lead the Red Wings 7-5 as we head to the top of the 9th. It'll be Tanner Murray who leads things off. He's 1 for 4 in the evening, followed by Gillis and Nebraska. It's been a back-and-forth affair here at Colburn Park tonight. A beautiful night for some baseball as the temperature has finally cooled off a little bit as the sun has vanished. And we play deep into the night now. And Jonathan Tyler makes his 6th appearance on the mound this year for the Pilots. They've all been in relief, and he hasn't pitched more than 1 1/3, so this is the perfect scenario for him, as he has a 2-run cushion here on the top of the 9th. He gets strike 1 on the inside corner to start off the shortstop, Tanner Murray. I've been impressed with his shortstop skills here tonight. He's been pretty sound down there, as he has took care of business when the ball has come his way. Tyler struggled in his last appearance as he lasted only 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 earned runs on a hit. As he walked 2 batters in that 20-3 loss to Jamestown back on Saturday night. Murray fouls this one off, and so he's in an 0-2 hole here as he leads things off as the Red Wings put on their rally caps here in the top of the 9th. Tyler plays for Los Angeles Mission from Santa Clarita, California. This one hit deep into left. Phillips is underneath it, pardon me, and he's able to make the catch for out number 1. It'll bring Jared Gillis, the left-hander, back to the plate. Gillis is 0 for 3 and struck out his last time up as the Red Wings are down to their final 2 outs here. Pilots looking to take advantage of the season series. They would take it 3-2. They could hold on for the win here. Tyler gets ahead in the count with the fastball down the middle for strike 1. Big cut and a miss from Gillis, and he quickly has him in an 0-2 hole. Jonathan Tyler, not small by any means, stands at 6'5", 220 on the mound. There's the 0-2. It's high and tight at the hands of Gillis as he backs off of that one. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left fielder from Smyrna, Delaware. Here's the 1-2. This one swung on and fouled off to the right. So Gillis is able to stay alive. It's the hard-hitting Nick Nebraska, the first baseman on deck. If Gillis can get himself aboard, Nebraska's the man you would want at the helm for the Red Wings as he leads the team in RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Looking at it on the inside corner is Gillis, and the Red Wings are down to their final out as Tyler gets a big K.
Now batting out of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, number 31, first baseman Nick Nebraska.
Nick Nebraska will try to keep things alive for Geneva here as they trail 7-5 down to their final out here in the top of the 9th. Nebraska's 0 for 3 as he struck out his last time. In on the hands of Nebraska. A little too close, though, so it's ball 1 to the Du Bois, Pennsylvania native. Is at Youngstown State. Mentioned him a couple of times. He's been the best hitter this year for Geneva. So he holds off at a breaking ball that cuts outside, and so it's ball 2. Tyler misses with another one inside, so it's a 3-0 count to Nebraska. We saw Tyler in the 7-1 win against Geneva back on June the 18th. He pitched 1 inning, and then we didn't give up any hits or runs in that one. So he had 2 strikeouts. A clean inning of work for the right-hander. He'll try to find the strike zone here. McKenzie gives it to him in the lower half of the plate, and so Nebraska has a 3-1 count as he can't draw the 2-out walk. Pilots looking to pick up their 7th win of the year and snap the 3-game slide. One in the same area, but he doesn't get the call, and so it's a 2-out walk, and the tying run will come to the plate for the Red Wings. As a pinch runner, Nick Carnavelli, will come on. For the Red Wings, we saw Carnavelli way back in that first meeting. He had the walk-off hit to give the Red Wings a lead in a 5 RBI game in that 17-4 win for Geneva at McDonough Park against the Pilots. Zach Miller, he will pinch hit now for the Red Wings as they look to do whatever they can to try and tie this one up, as there's still 2 gone. as Nick Carnavelli is the pinch runner over at first for Nick Nebraska now. Carnavelli gets a hefty lead. Now the throw down to first. They get him. No! What? Oh! Oh, I apologize. I thought he had him. Oh, it looked good to me. That would have been a great way to end this one for the Pilots, and it was a great throw from Hernandez. Nick Carnavelli, he got caught in that odd area where he wanted to go, but he decided to come back, and it looked like the glove was there in time for the tag. But Iinski says otherwise. Miller chops this one foul. And so the count goes to 1-1. That's the broadcaster's jinx. That's what I get for trying to call it before it happened. And so the Red Wings are still alive. It's a 1-1 count. Hernandez pleading with McKenzie. He thought he had him. Big swing and a miss as Miller was front of that one. And so Miller down to his final strike with a 1-2 count and 2 gone here in the top of the 9th. Pilots up 7-5, trying to close this one out. The 1-2, same pitch, but it's in the dirt. Tyler trying to get him to bite on another off speed, but Miller holds off, and so the count runs even at 2-2. Miller the tying run with Carnavelli over at first. Tyler from the stretch with the 2-2. Swung on by Miller, but it's foul. So the count remains, and Miller stays alive. Zach Miller, the catcher, hitting .341 on the year, has 15 hits and 44 at-bats, has homered once, and has 8 RBIs on the season. He'll try to be the hero here for Geneva, as it's a 2-2 count with 2 gone. The pitch, swung on by Miller, into center, chasing it back is Bailey. Got it! A sigh of relief from Tyler as the Pilots pick up the win 7-5. Pilots out-hit the Red Wings 11-9, and they pick up the win 7-5. It's their 7th of the year, as these two teams will hook up again tomorrow night in Geneva at McDonough Park.
Tonight's final score is 7-5. Your Newark Pilots take the win.
A big night for Giovanni Torres as he has 3 RBIs and is 2 for 4 on the night. As I'm Dan Cooter saying so long from here at Colburn Park. The Pilots end the 3-game skid and pick up the victory over the Geneva Red Wings as we say so long and good night from Colburn Park.